everybody. And before I forget, I'm going to make sure to unmute my friends. And welcome to this week's episode of Indoor Adventures, where we are beginning a brand new story arc. As I feel like we have hit a comfortable place in Delve, as you guys finally made it out onto the open-ish ocean. You decided to hitch a ride with one Oliviette Rezekaren across this narrow bit of sea leading up to the Isle of Aratsk. You did this at the behest of a dwarven miner named Denzig, who, upon sending you across this ocean, is expecting Oliviette to complete the rest of his trade deals, or at least give a note to the person that his trade deals were with, saying that the mines are back open and everything is fine. As that seems to be the best option that he had. You guys were hired on as a group of protectors, possible mercenary defenders, but for the most part, just guards for this ship. You were told that it wasn't going to be a very complicated ship ride, and it wasn't for the first day. During the second day, everything went by, or for the first day, everything went by totally fine, until nightfall, when Blake confronted the rest of the party. Or not really confronted, but more approached them, letting them know everything that had kind of been going on with him and how he's struggling to deal with this difference between him being Arjan and him also being Blake. And he doesn't know what side he is falling on, but he doesn't like the name Blake, as we found out. So we'll figure it out from there with Blake. Then Cori had wandered off after tucking a drunk Caelum into bed and leaving the rest of her party, who were deep into their cups below the deck, where she then adventured out onto the moon, out onto the deck, where she was then taken to the moon. There was a slight bit of events there, and both her and the captain of the ship, Oliviette, were both taken very, very quickly, very fast, up to a place that was no longer the front of the ship. And if you would like to find out the events that truly transpired in that moon adventure, you can go to our Patreon and find it there, and that is patreon.com/theinDoorAdventurer. I feel almost like a Marvel recap now, where you have to check out other comics to find out what the true story is. But Cori was gone the next day, and you all tried very hard to figure out a way that you could bring her back. Blake almost even asking Tarlayan if he could use his magical abilities to bring their dear friend back. However, a storm was brewing, and got pretty close to the ship, but the first mate / quartermaster, Alvar Dalcor, was able to navigate the ship away, where you guys saw that there was a collection of shipwrecks on a small, about a mile wide island, and decided, all right, well, let's go investigate that, because we really don't have anything better to do, and the ship's people were also very interested in going and investigating. So along the three of you who were not currently in a different location decided to go along with Durash, a half-elf, as well as Torga, another half-elf. Upon investigating around the wreckage of these ships, Durash said that he didn't really seem to see anything in the cave that he had investigated, and proceeded to get yoinked deep within the cave, where the rest of the party ran up to find out that there was a shambling mound within this cave. Dorash met a very quick and not exactly clean end, but you guys dealt with this creature post haste, and that is where we are going to actually pick up, which is you guys investigating around inside of this cave, with Torga going up and kind of checking on Dorash real quick.
Ooh. All right.
Uh, I I, I want to go poke the shambling mound.
Okay.
Just like see if there was anything else in it, around it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So you're gonna go and poke around with that. Does anybody want to help Blake with this?
Sure.
Okay. So Gwen, you go and you are going to go investigate as well. And Caelum, you are about to kind of go and investigate as well. And Torga just looks up at you over the body of his friend and says, "You're a cleric, right? You have to do something."
I I can try. I mean, he's. Oh, I'll go ahead that way.
And he's just kind of like cradling his friend's head, who again is just like lifeless body, does not look good. So you're gonna go over and help out with that. So Gwen and Blake, you guys can roll a set of investigation checks if you would like, or if one of you would prefer to be the investigator, the other can aid them and give them advantage.
I have 2 investigation.
That's more than me. I have a -1, so go for it.
All right. $18.
Okay. So, with your 18, you end up finding you move aside some of the plant matter and wreckage that seems to have coalesced into this creature. And when you do, you actually see the humanoid form, the second one that had been spitten out of the mound when you had used, or when Caelum had used his command to force it to drop everything. And you find that there is just this very old, mostly decomposed body. It looks humanoid, human in features, for at least what you can tell. Like the ears are rounded. They're long enough to be a human form. This doesn't seem to be an elf or a half elf or anything. And you see that they are wearing like this very fine golden sheet vestment that doesn't look like it's suffered a whole lot of decay. I mean, it seems kind of gross and slimy, but you're pretty sure that a mending spell would be able to fix that right up.
Okay.
And then, a little bit of prestidigitation here and there, clean it up a little bit, much better. So you end up finding that, and then as you continue to look around as well, you also find you find that there is a on this body as well. There is actually a golden locket that seems like it has a lot of corrosion on it, and when you kind of flick it open with your claw, you can't really get the button to work, but you know that it's probably frail enough. That inside there is what looks to be a very washed out portrait. You can't actually see what was inside of this to begin with. And then as you continue looking around, you just begin to... Gwen is kind of helping you lift up larger pieces, as your lift capacity is outrageous. So it's more like, let me just yeet this giant shambling mound, get him out of the way. And so you guys are kind of digging through that. Caelum, so you are busy helping this person out while your friends are off investigating. How are you going about doing this?
Basically going into his bag to find his holy tome just to read rites. His finger touches the tip of the spine of another book, and he pulls it out, and it's the Hag book.
Okay. Sounds good. So, if this is the plan that you were talking about earlier, I would like for you to make an Arcana roll.
+6. Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to work.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So.
I'm sorry, what?
So, Blake, you and Gwen are still investigating around. And you can see, you kind of look back and you see that Caelum is pulling out one of his books, and he seems to be kind of speaking rites over this form like you've seen him do throughout your entire time at Silk Creek. And the person that was there, Torga, has actually stepped away a little bit, and they seem to kind of just be like walking out of the cave, just very, very flustered. You can hear them kind of just like yelling expletives as they continue to walk out. And as you continue looking around, I would like for you to make another investigation check.
$19.
Okay. So when you go towards the back of this cave, you begin to look around as well, and just kind of having Gwen help you move aside some of this wreckage. You actually find what looks to be a staff. And it is a very nice staff. It doesn't look like it has any kind of corrosion or any kind of weather effects on it. It looks almost perfectly preserved, and you can see that it goes for about 5 feet up, and then the last 2 feet of this staff head actually coils up into what looks to be a black snake head.
That looks fucking cool. What is it?
I have no idea.
How tall is it?
It stands about 6 feet.
Is it like something you could like hit someone with, or is it something that you like shoot magic beams out of?
I mean, if you wanted to, I guess you could do both.
Not me, but one could.
I don't know. Caelum might be the best person to look at it.
What is Caelum doing? He's reading a book?
Yeah, he is. It looks like he is performing some sort of ceremonial rite.
All right, well, what can you hang on to that? I don't think it'd be very possible for me to carry that.
Yeah, I've got it.
Cool, thanks.
Thanks to D&D Beyond, I put it as a custom item in my inventory.
Yeah, and you can see that on this staff there seems to be what looks to be like a handkerchief that's kind of been hung off the side, and the handkerchief looks worn to shit and back. But it just looks like it was there as possibly a marker that the individual that was inside of the shambling mound had before, just as one of his personal keepsakes. All right. So you guys make your way. Are you making your way back to Caelum, or are you still just kind of investigating around?
See, if Caelum's given... If we get the sense that Caelum is doing ceremonial rites, Blake will want to stay back.
Okay. All right. So you and Gwen stay in the back while Caelum is giving the ceremonial rites. And after about 5 more minutes, Blake, you get a chill that runs down the back of your spine. And
out.
Caelum. You see your ritual comes to an end. Your casting comes to an end. And the page within the book that you were reading out of, you see the magic just begin to vibrate almost, like the runes on the page themselves are beginning to shake, and the entire page just burns out of the book that you were reading. And as it does, you see, Blake, both you and Gwen, see this kind of darker colored magical energy almost leave the book. It starts as this bright bluish color and then turns to this dark violet that seems to be almost encasing what looks to be black magical energy that then seeps into the body of goddamn, what was his name? Of Dorash. And then Blake and Caelum, as you kind of stare over this figure, you guys watch as the magic seeps in. A moment passes. Another moment passes. As red lights begin to form in the eyes of Dorash's body, as his body begins to start climbing, start sitting up where it is. And Blake, you get a fierce sense of undead.
I'm gonna go up to Caelum, and Caelum's the closest person to it, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to throw him back like yoink him away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right up in there. Was that supposed to happen? Did you mean to do that?
So during the ritual, when it burst blue, you see Caelum like smile for a second, like, yeah, it worked. And then it seeped into that black energy and his face drops. Like, oh no, this is not what's supposed to happen. And he gets yeeted back.
And this
And he's
form just begins to stand, just steadily beginning to rise up off the ground. But it doesn't seem like it is aggressive.
Are we killing it?
it wasn't supposed to be like this.
Are we killing it?
Blake's lighting his claws and attacking.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Oh wait, I said the crossbow was out.
Yeah, you had crossbow, but you can easily, like, if you're right up on it, you can definitely drop crossbow and just start clawing.
Yeah, okay. It's a natural 20 to hit.
Okay. Woo! Roll for damage. And are your claws on fire, or are they regular?
They're on fire.
Okay.
We are still level 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, so these two will be fire, these two will be... I'm so sorry. 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And 8 points of fire damage.
Okay. So.
Is that the extra special monster manual you have there?
Yes, it is. It was from the Holiday Collector's Guide. It has all the erratas and stuff in it, which is really nice. Because that way I don't have to try and remember rules without being able to see them. So let's see. Right. False. Where did it go? That's very close. And yeah, it is still standing. But
Do I get a second attack with my claws?
I will say with your offhand, yes. And it is just kind of standing there looking at Caelum.
Like vicious?
I'm sorry, buddy.
Not viciously. It just seems
Even
to be
at-
standing and looking.
All right, 14.
All right, 14 does hit. Roll for damage.
Okay, how does... Sorry, offhand attack, how does the modifier work?
You don't add your proficiency bonus.
No, you don't add your ability modifier
Yes, that one.
for damage. Sorry.
Just for damage.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's going to be 1 point of slashing damage,
Okay.
4 points of fire damage.
Okay. This thing looks very close to kind of just falling apart, but it just kind of maintains its footing.
Gwen's gonna kind of put her hands up. Whoa, hold on, 1 second. She kind of like pushes Blake back from the undead thing. Caelum, tell it to do something.
I
What the hell are you doing?
Tell it to give me a high five.
Gwen, get back.
Dude, wait.
I high five her.
This creature just shambles forward, puts its hand up, and then touches hands with Gwen. As Dorash's very fresh body is still moving.
All right.
Caelum, what the fuck?
I thought I could bring him back.
I mean, you did.
That's not bringing
This,
someone back.
in what we describe as the tribe, call necromancy. And Gwen looks very proud of herself because she's like, I've seen this before, and y'all don't know, but I know something about magic.
Caelum's
But they
raising
know.
his hand and he casts a guiding bolt on it.
Oh shit!
Okay. Yeah, roll to hit.
Wow.
16.
Yeah, 16 hits, and there's no way you deal less than 2 damage. And because it is radiant, its undead fortitude does not kick in, and its body just gets blasted onto the ground.
How's the other dude looking?
Torga had actually walked out of the cave during this moment. So he's not in there at all, and he stood behind you, Blake, for the entirety of the last fight, so he's fine. But are you meaning the undead, or the dude that had the gold? Didn't move. Stayed. You aren't getting a sense of undead from him. Like, he's just a dead body.
Oh, I'm like, did we traumatize the other person who is alive?
No. Because, again, he was not in the cave while all of this was happening. He hasn't seen any of this.
Okay.
Dude, I didn't know you could do that.
Me neither.
Oh.
I read through the hag's spellbook that we got from Santar, and the notes said that this could bring back the dead. Sort of.
Yeah. So I've had a little bit of experience with shamans who dabble in necromancy, and in general, pretty cool as far as like, hey, I have like an undead soldier who could do anything I wanted to. Not so good in like the morality lines.
Caelum, give me the book.
That's the only spell in there like that. And it's gone now.
Do I believe him?
Oh, it's legitimately the only spell in there that was like that.
But does Blake believe?
Oh, I don't know. Do you?
Roll.
I believe him 16.
Okay. Yeah. Caelum doesn't lie to you guys. From what you know, anyways, you've never known him to be a liar, so his words hold true. Hopefully, even in this moment.
Gwen's just gonna walk up to Caelum and just like pat him on the leg. Don't worry, dude. I'm sure it happens to the best of you guys.
No, it only happens when I try to help. And Caelum gets up and leaves.
Ooh. Shit. Looks like we're gonna be drinking again tonight. She turns to Blake.
Yes.
Yeah, finger guns and like backs up.
And you guys begin making your way out of the cave. Blake, you have your hand tightly clenched over the staff that you had picked up earlier. And as you guys exit, Caelum, as you are heading out, Torga comes up to you and says, "Well, did it work? Did you bring him back?"
Just keeps walking.
He just kind of like looks at you and then goes over and says the same thing to you, Gwen. Just, what happened? Did it work?
She kind of puts her hand on his hand. Dude's dead, dude. Sorry. He was a good man. And then she puts her hand down and walks away.
Okay. And Blake, by the time that you are walking up, Torga's like very quickly making his way. It looks like he's going to be walking past you. He doesn't seem to be slowing his approach as he begins to head back into the cave to see what befell his friend.
Could I have picked up the body to carry it back?
Yeah, you can definitely have picked up the body. Okay, so you just kind of have it slung over your shoulder, I'm guessing. All right.
Are we planning on burying him on the beach?
Torga would like to,
Sure.
if possible.
Okay.
I'll get a spade and start digging a hole. Dig a hole.
Okay.
Up there.
All right. So yeah, after about an hour, 2 hours, you guys managed to dig a hole deep enough to kind of feel more at ease about the whole thing, or at least knowing that no wild animals are going to come and feast upon his body and it won't get washed out to shore or anything like that. Like, you guys make a pretty sizable hole. And when you set the body down, Torga just kind of like looks at the body as it's getting set in. And then he just looks over at you, Blake, and says, "Did you slash his chest?"
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because and Blake's gonna take like a long time.
Yeah, this guy, Torga, is actually going to like get up very close to you, and just look at you, and you can see that he has tears welling in his eyes. Just why would you do that?
Is Gwen still standing right there?
Yeah, you guys are next to, like, you helped dig the hole, and he seems to be getting confrontational with Blake.
Okay, so, all right, calm down. Caelum tried to bring him back. He was too far gone, came back as a zombo, so we had to put him back down, and it's not our fault. Otherwise, your friend would have been, like, disgraced and stuff for being a zombo. So...
It wasn't your friend.
Right. His soul wasn't there. She gives him, like, spooky eyes.
And when Gwen says that, Caelum and Blake, both of you can make an Arcana check.
This is related to undead?
Yes.
22.
Natural 20.
Dang.
The other one was a 19.
Damn. Blake knows him some undeads. And Caelum, you said you got a 22? So your basic understanding of how necromancy works, especially for reanimating skeletons and repurposing bodies, it is actually a corruption of the spirit. That energy is then used on that body to have locomotion to it.
That doesn't make Caelum feel any better.
And you, as you guys are having this, trying to just be like, we accident, and like trying to like at least be reasonable about it. Yeah, your companion just kind of like, his head goes down, and you see that there is just a very dark look on his face of just both anger and frustration and not really knowing what to do. He just had to bury one of his crew members. And he just says, "Let's just go back to the boat." He just
Blake will
begins
nod.
walking towards the rowboat.
I'll start filling in the hole,
Okay.
patting it down. You're a good dude. I didn't know you well, but I knew you enough. Kinda. Go to whatever god. And she does like some random hand signals. And then just walks away.
Okay. Yeah, so by the time that you get back to the rowboat, you hop in. And as soon as you actually get in, you can see that Torga just begins rowing. And he says very curtly, I need someone else to help row.
I got you, dude.
Okay.
Am I the only one who's not awkward? Gwen thinks in her head.
And you guys begin just rowing this boat back to the Midnight's Dancer. And when you end up being able to get back on the ship, you can see that Dorash is immediately going over to Dalcor to let him know why one of their crew members isn't going to be coming back. And as he's kind of explaining this, he leaves out the part about you guys resurrecting his friend and then killing him a second time. Instead, he just says that there was a creature in the cave. And that they killed it, but they managed to bring back at least some goods for the ship. Mostly the water and ale that you guys were able to find. It doesn't look like there's any kind of like coinage that made it back to the ship. So you guys see that it is getting towards nightfall now. There are still a few hours left, but the storm that you guys were waiting for has passed. And so Dalcor calls for his men to raise up the anchor, and you begin heading back out to sea once again. So, what are the three of you doing as the ship begins to set sail?
Caelum's disappeared below deck.
Blake doing?
Blake is going to set out the items that he's found and try to discern what he can about them.
Okay. So make an insight check to start things off.
20.
Okay.
Modded.
Yeah. So with your insight, you are guessing that the body that was also inside of the shambling mound was a religious figure of some merit. As when you had undone the handkerchief that was on the staff that had the snake head on it, you actually saw that there was a symbol of Lathander that had been embossed upon it. But it looks very old, very worn, and very weathered. And kind of getting a better look at the washed out portrait inside of the locket, you can see what looks to be what could have been the outlines of three humanoid forms. You can't tell any faces or features or anything like that. But you have reason to believe that it might have been a picture of the body's family, as kind of putting two and two together, the bone statues that you had found of a young humanoid and then an older humanoid female. You were guessing that this was probably a shipwreck situation. This guy was just a castaway. And it survived on that island for who knows how long before meeting his fate at the hands of the shambling mound.
Okay.
And then I would like for you to make an Arcana check.
Does it involve Fey Fiends or
It
undead?
does not.
All right. Let's use you. 6.
Okay. Yeah, you aren't getting any kind of read from these items at all.
Huh.
Yeah, nothing really seems to be out of the ordinary. It just seems like a dude got shipwrecked.
All right.
All right, and Gwen, what are you doing during this time?
I will probably see that Blake's cool, and then maybe go check the the front where there is the symbol on the deck, see if anything's changed with it.
Okay.
And then I'll probably go try to find Caelum.
Yeah, you go and check on the symbol, and there doesn't seem to be any noticeable difference that has occurred around this circle.
Okay. Then I'll go below deck and try and nonchalantly find Caelum.
All right. And Caelum, I'm assuming you just have Moonin hanging out with you. And then Cybra would be kind of just hanging out. She would actually have come towards you, kind of sensing that you weren't exactly in the best place, and she's kind of just like nuzzled her head onto your lap.
Yeah, Caelum is in the cargo area, probably hiding.
Yeah, so Gwen, you come downstairs and you can't spot Caelum, but you see Cybra's back end where the tail is just sort of like thumping against the ground.
Mm-hmm. Can I assume that that's probably where Caelum is?
Yeah.
All right. Gwen is gonna sit on the other side of the boxes and just kind of, or probably sit up on one of them if there's like layers, and she'll like start like cleaning out her flute, and like just play it for a little bit. Back to Caelum, just so like she's there, but I'm not gonna say anything if you're not gonna say anything.
He's not gonna say anything.
Mm-hmm. So she'll just play a nice melodic tune.
Okay. Yeah, so Blake, what is your passive perception?
12.
I would say that you could hear this this fluting, and you know that this is coming from this would probably be coming from your halfling friend, as you've had experience with her playing flute before.
Yeah, I'll pick up all this stuff, and like this is not coming from like where we're bunking or where our stuff is, right?
No. It seems to be coming from the storage slash like shipment room, where you know that a lot of the merchandise that they are transporting is currently being stored.
All right. Well, I'll bring the stuff down to like see if Gwen wanted anything. But once he sees that Caelum's in the room, he's going to go put it away.
Okay. Yeah, so you go and you store all of your stuff. And do you have anything else that you're planning on doing? Just kind of posting up somewhere, going outside? Yeah, so the night continues on. It's very quiet between the three of you. Gwen, you continue to play for... What do you... Like, do you continue to play after the first hour?
Probably not. She'll probably like stop playing, clean out her flute a little bit. Gosh, getting real hungry. Should probably go get something to eat, is what a normal person would do at this point. I'm gonna go get food now. And if she doesn't hear anything, she's gonna like hop down and then go get food. And if Caelum doesn't come out, she's gonna like bring some back and, oh gosh, I'm just so full, and put the plate on top of the boxes behind her.
Okay.
And then like start playing like a game of cards with herself or something.
Some solitaire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, so Caelum, are you going to be grabbing any of this food?
No.
Okay.
If he doesn't grab the food, I might pop a thing of alcohol up there. Just like, let me just put this here.
More of the stolen rum.
Yes, the rum, not the barrel.
All right. We are at 2 bottles of stolen rum for the trip.
That's all right. I'll pay it back later. We're gonna have money soon.
Didn't they give us 2 bottles?
I thought they gave us a bottle.
Right,
The
but
bottle was complimentary, so because it was already open, and then Captain Oliviette was like, "No, it's fine."
Well, she's not here, so it's fine.
What happens when the paladin's away?
necromancy and petty theft.
All right. Yeah, so she'll pop up the bottle of rum, like she'll pour herself a glass, and yeah, the rum is so good. I guess I'll just leave this here for anyone. And then playing cards.
There's like an armored hand that slowly rises up from behind the box, and like thump, thump, thump.
I kind of want to like cat him and like grab his hand, but I'm not gonna do that. She'll slide it closer to him.
He feels the glass, takes, and it's like scrape back down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Like, we both know we're both here, so I'm here if you need me, but if you don't, stay behind the boxes. It's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna just then the glass comes back up. Dink.
Gonna need more wine. Got it. She's just gonna continue to play cards. In silence, probably. Maybe talk to Cybra a little bit, but...
Yeah, Cybra has, at this point, Gwen, the longer that you've stayed on, you see her get up from where Caelum is and kind of, like, nose at the food that you have left for Caelum.
Mm-hmm.
Just sniffs it a little bit. Takes a, like, gently gives a little nib on it. And then you see her actually pick it up and just set it down on Caelum.
Aww. My sweet girl.
And then she just looks at you, and you can hear her panting, and the tail is just wagging.
Eating the boxes.
Yeah, just making that the one-sided thud of a tail wagging.
Caelum just takes whatever it is, puts it up to Cybra's mouth.
She just kind of like rears her head back.
She's learned so well.
She's the therapy dog. Sorry.
Connor can't even right now.
I guess Caelum's gonna take a bite. Put it down. Pat Cybra on the head. Go back to...
Cyber just licks the side of your face when you do.
Still in silence?
Still in silence.
Okay.
Still brooding.
It's fine. Brood away.
Yeah, and at this point, Cyber will kind of do a little turn, and then sit down next to you, so that way she's facing towards Gwen. So that way, Gwen, if you need to, you can kind of like lean back a little bit and give her scritches, but her back end is still over by Caelum, so she can also get scritches that way.
She knows what she wants.
So yeah, your guys' night. Caelum, how long do you plan on remaining silent?
A few more hours, and then if Gwen is still there, he'll just like turn and roll, and you'll see that he's wrapped himself up in his cape like a burrito.
Yeah, Gwen. So it's going to be a few more hours of just sitting in silence with Caelum. Are you just going to continue sitting there, or are you going to go and do something else in that time?
I mean, she doesn't have anything else to do.
It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you just see Caelum roll out in this sadness burrito.
Oh, like he's going to sleep, or like he's depressed?
No, he's like getting up,
Oh,
So,
I
like-
see.
but he's like wrapped tightly.
Uh-huh.
To struggle out.
Oh, hey. I didn't even know you were here.
Yeah, I I'm great at hiding.
Yep. Totally. You want to go do something?
Yeah. Sure.
Want a distraction?
Are you propositioning?
Yeah, like
Oh. No, thank you.
I didn't tell you what we're gonna do.
Oh, I thought you never mind.
No, I want to teach you how to fight a little bit more.
Maybe some other time, Gwen.
I'm just saying, sometimes hitting things makes you feel a lot better.
No, I'll pass this time.
Okay. You gonna go to bed?
I think I'm gonna go get some air.
Alone?
Yeah, just need a few minutes.
It's fine. Do what you gotta do. I'll be somewhere. I don't know. I haven't decided.
Okay. Thanks for sitting with me.
It's cool. It's easier to sit than, other stuff. You didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, you said it yourself. Necromancy's like morality stuff, and that wasn't bringing someone back, you know?
I have a very limited experience with necromancy, and it's like, if you do it on purpose, it's a morality thing, but you didn't. You didn't know what you were doing, and now you know, and, the dude was already dead, so it's not like him coming back and then us killing him again is like, another step. It was kind of just like...
Desecrating a corpse?
If it's a zombie, it's not really desecrate. You know what? There's logistics we're getting into here that we don't need to. I'm just saying, what you didn't mean to do it, so it wasn't wrong.
Thanks, Gwen.
Mm-hmm. Do I think that he believes me? Okay. That's a no for all you audiocast listeners.
Mm-hmm. A stern shake of the head.
Uh-huh. All right. Yep, have fun on the deck. Let me know if you need anything.
He grabs his shield and heads up.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was actually going to ask, where is Blake during this?
Blake had gone to the deck to just stare at the moon circle.
Okay.
He's just like sitting up against the railing.
Yeah, you were just steadfast on this, and Caelum, when you come up onto the deck, you see that Blake is perched up, just staring dead at this circle that's on the deck.
Literally, deer in the headlights freeze. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. And Caelum starts walking towards the circle.
Just silence.
Yeah. I think instead of passage, you should name this one Silence.
It's just 8 episodes, 3 hours apiece, nothing.
Oh, this is a great audio cast.
One would go crazy.
Very quiet.
Someone just fucking talk to me.
At the end of the VOD, just a, what the fuck, Endor?
That'll be our April Fool's Day episode. Just non-content.
What kind of content? Anyway, digress. Anything change while we were down there?
No. Nothing.
Okay. If you want to get some rest, I can keep watch for a while.
Caelum, I've got 3 items in a bag near our bunk. Can you take a look at them?
Does it have to be immediate?
No.
I'll take a look at them later.
He just sits there.
Caelum will sit like parallel to him, like near the mass, I guess.
Okay.
You need to just put his shield in his lap. And we wait.
So with the shield in your lap, Caelum, you look down and you see in frosted letters that appear upon the front side of the shield, it says, "It's been a while."
All right. Oh, sorry, I don't have any interesting books for you tonight.
And then it says, "We don't read anymore." And then you can see a frowning face.
I look up at Blake.
And Blake, Caelum, did you have the shield facing outward or did you have it facing in?
It's like down on his lap.
Okay.
Like just staring at the circle.
Yeah.
So I met at an adventuring party, and he starts recounting what had happened from the last time they talked.
Okay. And then there are questions that that kind of get written out onto the shield. Like, I met an adventuring party in Shroudport. You wouldn't believe the things that happened, and
I killed a guy.
just question exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Blake, you just hear Caelum having this one-sided conversation for about an hour. And he just seems to be speaking into the air about everything that you guys, as the Four Keeps, have done. Starting from the first night in Shroudport, and then getting up to where you guys are now, this 28-day journey.
So do we have to be concerned about this too?
No. He raises the shield, and you'd see the frosted letterings. Back when I was at my temple, this was like one of my only friends.
Caelum, you know, if you angle your shield, that you can have your friend at least make a mild appearance.
Yeah. Just slight angle, catching the moonlight.
What do I see?
You see what looks to be a small humanoid figure, spectral, very pale in color. And it just waves at you.
Fey Fiend Undead?
You are getting a sense of undeath.
Caelum, what the fuck?
What?
How many undead are you gonna make me deal with today?
You're not gonna... Starts pulling the shield.
And you see the little humanoid figure runs over and like grabs onto Caelum's side. And you see on the lettering on Caelum's shield it says, "Please don't."
Who are you?
My name's Caelum. I've been traveling with
you.
Tilts the shield back so he can read.
And it's amorous, correct?
Yes.
Yep. And you just see lettering that says amorous.
What are your intentions?
And it says, "I just wanted a friend." And then that
Can
disappears.
I insight check the shield?
Yes, you can, because it's a Monday.
We gotta write that in somehow.
I know.
Yes.
We're working on the song.
17.
From the body language that you were getting, as well as from the way it was hurriedly written onto the shield, that says, "I just wanted a friend. I just wanted to read." You get the sense that this spirit is telling the truth. And you see the spirit kind of like sidle up around Caelum's back, so only their small head is kind of peeking out from behind his leg.
Caelum. Fuck it. And he'll go back to his gut.
Okay.
He's a really nice guy, I swear.
And you see the head just kind of tilt up and look at you. And on the shield it says, "I trust you."
It just so happened these two plot points kind of coincided together.
I'm so sorry. Blake just really hates undead.
Not as much as he hates humans.
Especially undead humans.
Fuck those guys.
So I would say that Gwen is probably going upstairs, like, because she was downstairs. She's like, "I don't have anything to fucking do down here. I don't want to be down here," but I didn't want to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to the deck too." So she'll be heading up the stairs as Blake is trouncing down the stairs, and I assume heavy foot falls.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, angrily or frustration. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I see him go down the stairs. I'm like, what the fuck is happening with this group? Jesus. So she's gonna go up, and I think she would. Is there a back part where there's like I guess the way I picture it is there's like the deck, there's the captain's quarters, and then there's like where the wheel is up top.
Yeah, the aft castle.
Okay. Yes, I would like to go on the aft castle, please.
Okay. Yeah, and you're hanging up there, and you can see that it is actually the quartermaster Dalcor, who's currently just at the helm of the ship, just kind of plodding it through the night.
Mm-hmm. She'll kind of put her hands on the railing and like look over, look at Caelum, look down, look where Blake went. Do you have any issues to fucking deal with? At the quartermaster.
Just, no, I'm good. I mean, as good as losing a crewman can be. Lost my captain yesterday and another crew member today. It's very difficult to operate the ship when we're down so many people. Our do you by chance know how to, work on a boat? Work on a ship?
I can't swim. I've never been on a boat in my life.
Oh, that shouldn't stop you. You'll be, oh, fuck. This is bad.
I can lift heavy shit if that's what you need, but, like, I'm not leaving, like, I'm not going up there. And she points to, like, the
Crow's
the
nest.
sails and stuff, yeah.
No, that's fine, I suppose. Do any of your friends know how to?
Probably not,
No.
but I'm gonna say, like, not bothering them right now is probably the best choice of action.
Yeah,
One
I
of
don't
them's
really. What is that about? And he kind of like points down towards Caelum, and you can see that Caelum just has this like tiny little spirit next to him that's standing. That seems to kind of just be like sitting on the ground, leaning up next against him as they are reading a book.
I don't know, man. She kind of just sighs, like, this is kind of typical. I have a spirit that lives inside me too, but, like, I don't know. It's like a typical fucking Monday.
What's a Monday? He's just.
Oh, that's right. There isn't Monday. Sorry, that
It's a
wasn't
10-day.
supposed to be a.
Not in this world. Get that Ed Greenwood shit out of here.
So Gwen is just watching Caelum from a distance. Like, he doesn't seem perturbed by this thing on him, right?
No.
Okay. So she's like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna. I need Cori to deflect. There's a lot going on.
If Gwen listens hard enough, she can hear. And then they beat me half to death.
Fucking weirdos. But I love them. She just sighs off into the distance.
Okay. As you are sighing off into the distance, are you looking forward or towards the back, like watching where you're having come from rather than where you're going?
I'm watching Caelum, so
Okay.
I'd be looking forward.
Okay, make a perception check.
Okay. Perception, that's a 14.
Okay. So you and Dalcor are both standing on the aft castle. Caelum is kind of reading to this spirit. And Blake, you are sleeping heavily. And that is when, Gwen, you actually hear it. Just this... followed with a very quick squawking noise that you hear actually coming from the crow's nest. And when you look up, you can actually see the form of your Kenku friend kind of like reared back, holding onto the upper part of their torso, and kind of just looking at that, and they begin to just cry out. They open their mouth, and the sound of just ringing bells. These very, very loud ringing bells. And Dalcor just says, "Oh, that's not good." And as you look up, kind of silhouetted against the moon, as the moon is full now, you can see that there are 4 forms that each have a set of wings that seem to be getting closer, and one slightly larger form as well, also wings on its back. And you can see that one of their arms goes up and makes a pulling-like motion, almost as if they have a bow, and with another thwipping noise, you hear what sounds like an arrow sinking into wood.
Oh, shit!
And the captain kind of gets low on the ground. Caelum, make a perception check. Or actually, you wouldn't need to, because the bells that are being rung are extremely loud coming from this Kenku. Who's basically, for all intents and purposes, yelling bloody murder, but it just sounds like bells. And as that begins to happen, Amaris just vanishes, just returns back into the shield, going back from whence they came. And Blake, I would like for you to make a perception check.
Perception 16.
Okay. So with your 16, you also hear what sounds like dock bells that are being rung very fast, very quickly, and you can hear that other crew members are now starting to get up as well, just kind of confused as to what's going on.
Oh yeah, Crossbow going to deck right now.
Okay. So as you come out onto the deck, Gwen, you have actually seen these figures get just flying closer through the air as one of them just kind of flies up onto the crow's nest and then perches and brings out what looks to be this large two-handed weapon that it then points down and kind of angles towards your Kenku friend. And Caelum, on the deck in front of you, you see three forms that look like they are some form of avian folk land onto the deck. Their coloration is very bright and vibrant. It seems almost like reds and oranges with these kind of large, more parrot-like beaks that seem to come from their mouths, or at least where their mouths should be. And they also have these giant, what look to be glaives that they seem to be holding and are pointing towards you. And there are three of them as a fourth one lands onto the ship deck and also pulls out a giant glaive and then sets the butt of it onto the ground and says, "You pay or you die!"
So as soon as they landed on the deck, Gwen was like, "We're under attack," and dove off to attack one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Caelum like scrambled to a knee to bring up his shield and make himself a small target.
Okay.
Pay or die, huh?
Those were his words.
I'm going to. How far up is the crow's nest?
The crow's nest is about a. It is about a 25-foot climb up.
Okay. Gonna designate the avian on the crow's nest, and one of them in front of me, and I'm gonna cast Command Flee.
Okay. So let us roll into initiative. Gwen, make an attack roll as you will be going into a surprise round.
Can I
Huh.
can I rage as I'm flying through the air?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Ain't that bad a bitch.
That's a 19.
That's a 15.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So,
That's a 16.
all right. So this is going to be for the surprise action. So it is Blake. You had what?
16.
Okay. Caelum,
15.
and then Gwen.
Do you want me to roll initiative or an attack?
Initiative at this point,
Okay.
because your attack was what before?
A 19.
Okay, 19 will hit.
I think 16 or 19. I think it was 19. My initiative is +2, so that's my proficiency is +1. 14.
Wow.
Hey.
16, 15, 14. Nice. So Blake, you are coming out onto the deck at this point. Caelum, you have cast your command and just stand and say flee. Are you doing it on, you said the one in the crow's nest, and then are you doing it on the large one that landed that said pay or die, or one of the smaller ones?
Let's try the large one.
Okay.
Pay or die.
So, crow's nest guy, he got
13?
a 15,
He passes.
and then the biggin, he got a 18.
Well, worth a shot.
So, Gwen, your attack, roll for damage.
14 damage.
Okay, so, Caelum, you just see this blur in the night flash in front of you, and it is Gwen just rushing onto the ground, bringing up her axe, and in one fell swoop, one of these bird creatures is just slain in half. It doesn't seem like they were exactly the most sturdy of bird folk, as Gwen just lays into it.
And
Birds
so,
have hollow bones, dude.
she brings up the axe. Her eyes are glowing red. She's got the tattoos going, and she says, "Die." She brings up her axe again.
All right. And as you guys bring, or as you bring up your axe again, and Caelum, you feel your magic not taking hold on these creatures. everyone who is on deck. So Blake, again, you have just rushed up onto deck. You see in the middle of the circle, behind these bird folk, what look to be just these glittering sparkles that kind of hang in the air, and then they begin to get brighter and brighter. And as they do, you see this beam of pale moonlight just strike into the middle of the boat. And at that, the bird people like kind of like turn around like, what in the fuck? And you watch as this beam of light just gets larger and larger and larger until it fills the circle. And the entire sea seems to almost be lit up with the vibrance of this light just piercing through the darkness. And then that is when, with this kind of billowing magical energy that spreads out, you can see standing in front of you Coriander and Captain Oliviette holding hands, but both of them completely wreathed in this silver fire that doesn't seem to be harming them at all. And when you look at Cori, her armor is this nice silvery color that seems to have almost a darker color underneath to help accentuate it. And where normally you have seen her have orange hair, yellow hair, green hair, pink hair on some occasions, you see what looks to be just this large mane of silvery, almost fiery hair as it just kind of wreathes off the back of Cori's head, her eyes also glowing this vibrant silver energy.
Oh god, that seems like it would be something that would be really cool to have on a t-shirt. Big question, have we taken a short rest?
I will say yes, you guys have taken a short rest.
Bless you.
Except for me, who's taken a long rest, right?
Yep.
You took a big sleep.
I took a big sleep. I don't like sleep.
Okay.
And as you guys are figuring out all of your roles as well, Oliviette just, like, again, wreathed in fire. Her eyes also just this, much in the same way that Cori's are, you can just see is just this kind of silver fire that seems to be emanating out of the eyes. She lets go of Cori's hand, reaches in to her side, and pulls out her rapier and sets it towards one of these large bird folk. Says, "Who the fuck is on my ship?" And that is where we are going to go to our first break of the evening. So I wanted to say, I'm glad we got the gang back together. And, you know, Cyberwolf, you brought up a good point. Do you want to see something like that on a shirt? If so, you can go to In-Store Adventures, our new merch store that we have set up. So if you go to streamlabs.com/theinDoorAdventurer, slash pound, like a hashtag, and then another, you know what? It'll be in the description. If you would like to pick up merch, you can find it in the description. But
oh no, something's happening. I'm inputting my credit card information without my own volition. What's going on?
Excellent.
Are you buying a shirt that looks like this?
Oh!
Yes, I am.
Or are you buying one that looks like this? Actually, you'll also end up looking a lot cleaner than those. Those are the prototypes.
But yes,
hey,
so
yeah,
if you want to pick up some merch, check out In-Store Adventures. And then, of course, like JD said, it accepts PayPal, so you don't even have to have your credit card, RJ. It'll already fill out all the information for you.
Cool, I'm taking 10.
Yes. Also, we, of course, we just hit over 5,000 listens on our audiocast, which was super cool. We are now averaging at over 100 plays per episode, so I believe it is only a matter of time until we defeat our vile nemesis, the Indoor Air Conditioner Repair Podcast. Soon we shall overtake them, but, you know, give it some time. If you like what we do, give us a good review. It'll help us out in the iTunes algorithm, which would be really sweet. Or if you listen on Spoofy, you can do that there. If you want to know what happened to Cori during the break, of course, you can always check out the Patreon at patreon.com/theinDoorAdventurer. And that is it for the plugs. So we are going to go to our break. We're going to be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, bring them on back. And we are going to continue with the same moonfire-fueled bullshit that we just left off on. So don't go nowhere, and we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye! Hello, everybody.
Welcome to my domain, the Indoor Adventurous stream.
You know what? That wasn't even me, but fuck it. That's awesome. I'm down for it. I want to start it all like that now. Redo. Fuck it. We're scrapping the series. We're going back. We're starting it like that all the time. Oh my god. Thank you. Also, we were at the break, but House8897, thank you for the follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Deadman619 Inc., you just tuned in to the midway point where we are now resuming the stream at a very, very opportune time. Wings, I'd like for you to roll into the initiative order as well, as you are actually here for this.
19.
Holy shit. So, Cori...
She was ready.
Born ready. And you want to know what the best part is? Oliviette got the same score.
Oh, we just draw our swords simultaneously.
Oh, yeah.
Wing.
All right, so, Cori, you have, you pull out your blade, and the rest of you also see that her sword is just emanating what appears to be just pale moonlight. Definitely not the sword that she left with.
Alright.
So, Oliviette has just cried out, "Who the fuck is on my ship?" and pulled her rapier as well. So, Cori, what would you like to do?
I know for a fact that she has a higher dexterity than me.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so she is going to rush towards the big guy, and you see her just try and go to town with this rapier that also seems to be just illuminating into the night sky. And she is going to get a 17 on the die, which is more than enough to hit that dude. And because she is a swashbuckler, she can sneak attack even if she's the only person there. So she's going to get... for 22 points of damage on the big guy. So yes, and then she is going to twist back around, and with this kind of backstrike, she's going to let Cori in front of her.
All right, I'm going to attack the same person. Hopefully to great success. We shall see. Ah, no, come back, dice.
Gone forever.
Ah, okay, here we go. Oh, we're back to this again. Show up all cool in a beam of moonlight, and then I roll a 10.
Okay.
Flat 10.
Yeah, 10 does not hit, but this creature having taken some damage from Oliviette, now on the defense, as your sword comes down, it just brings up the glaive that it had set down in an authoritative manner to try and block the swing that you came down with, and he manages to be able to do it. He's still set off a little bit. Was not expecting reinforcements from literally fucking nowhere to show up and then deal him such a mighty blow.
All right, in that case, I'm going to use my bonus action to face step behind him.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my Moonform ability to give him Bane, which he
Okay.
needs to roll a Wisdom save for.
He got an 8.
Great. Bane.
Okay. Sounds good. So you just see as Cori just disappears. Normally it's with a flourish of all sorts of leaves or other indicators of the season that she's in, but this time you just see her wink out with this very quick twist of pale light and then reappear. And as she does, just this wave of energy washes over this tall creature, who then kind of seems to just... you see what looks to be moons kind of starting to form in the creature's eyes.
Mm.
And it is pissed off, but it's not its turn. So, Blake, you have just watched Cori rain down from the sky with Oliviette, both wreathed in flame, and then do what appears to be like this battle dance almost, attacking these creatures that immediately landed on that had previously landed on the ship.
I have no idea what's happening, but I like it. I'm gonna light up the crossbow and take a shot at whatever one is farthest away, but still within 100 feet.
Okay. That would probably be the one on the crow's nest.
That one.
Okay.
And we are still 4th level, right?
Yes.
3rd level. 4th level.
4th. At the end of this session, 5th levels abound.
I don't need your pity.
This isn't pity. You guys fucking earned it.
Oh, okay.
You sent all my hard monsters to the curb.
19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
10 points of piercing damage, 3 points of fire damage.
That is exactly what you needed. Yeah, so you see this crossbow bolt just sink into this creature who squawks, and then just proceeds to fall off of the crow's nest where it had been perching, and with a sickening thud and crunching noise just falls onto the ground. No longer moving. Next up is Caelum. 2 of these creatures are already dead. Then there's the big one who's currently in combat, as well as 2 more that are standing beside him.
Yeah. Caelum pulls the light club that he tucks behind, like, the wrist guard of his shield.
Mm-hmm.
And just gonna rush up to the big guy and crack him on the leg as hard as he can. That's a natural 20.
Work it, Yorl.
5. That's 8 points of bludgeoning damage. I'm not a strong boy.
That's still pretty good. And you see its leg kind of, or you did that on the big boy?
On the big boy, like back of the, well, it have turned to face Cori, so
yeah,
back of the leg.
Okay. So that was 8 points of damage. It does not like anything that has happened within the 3 seconds that it has been on this ship.
Pay or die. No, God.
Please, not die. Gwen, it is your turn again.
Okie dokie. Let me. All right, cool. So, these guys have been taking a beating, right?
Yes.
Gwen is going to put up her axe to the big guy, facing him, and she's gonna say, "Pay up or die." She's going to attempt to intimidate him.
Okay. Sounds good. So.
That's not great.
What did you get to intimidate?
I got an 8. If it's just a regular roll, but since his friends are dead and I came in like a bullet, I think that maybe I should.
I think you should have advantage as well. What a good sell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you can just see especially because he had to roll less on his check against it because Cori showed up and baned a motherfucker. He just kind of looks at you and looks at looks at his dead men, and just says, "We do not pay and we do not die. Instead, we take to the sky." And he is going to disengage and just fucking leave.
Did he just rhyme his way out of this shit?
As you see, the other avian folk are also going to just fly and get the fuck out of here.
Opportunity attack?
Because they disengaged, you do not get an opportunity attack.
Rats! One day.
But they'll still be within 100 feet, right?
Yes. Yes. For the next 2 attacks that you would be, or for the next attack that you would be able to make, one of them will be, because the next turn they are just double moving, getting the fuck out of this, because they, upon looking back, Cori and Oliviette are still both wreathed in this silver fire.
I mean, I can keep shooting at them as long as they're within 400 feet.
As long as they're within 400, you can have up to 3 more shots.
Okay. So for my first trick, still within 100 feet, right?
Yep. Are you hitting big guy or little guy?
Big. Yeah, little guy.
Yeah, there are two little guys that are also going with this large boy.
Big guy.
Yeah, he's okay. Sounds good.
Big guy.
Biggin.
18.
18 hits. Roll for damage.
4 points of piercing damage. That was a 1 on the Crimson Right die. So 4 points of piercing damage, 4 points of fire damage.
Okay. It is still up, but it shrieks out as this crossbow bolt just sails through the night sky and finds purchase upon it.
Is big guy still within 100 feet?
Big guy for your second shot would not be within 100 feet.
Okay.
Or he would be at 90 feet away from you guys. So you would still be within 100. Yeah.
20 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, that'll hit.
9 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, boy.
4 points of fire damage.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, it is still just barely hanging up in the air at this point.
All right.
One more head for your trophy.
It's without 100 feet, right?
Yeah,
17 to hit.
that still hits. Blake is letting out some internalized aggression he's had for the last couple hours.
12 points of piercing damage, 4 points of fire damage.
You just see this large form fall from the sky and just plummet towards the ocean, and you can hear a kind of distant sploosh as the two smaller forms are just flying very quickly away at this point.
But they're still within 400 feet.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Dude. Gwen's gonna like kind of stand up. Dude, they're
14.
gone.
14 hits.
She's
6.
Okay.
7.
7 does not end up killing this one. He's still flying.
And Gwen's like,
Yeah, dude, they're gone. They're gone. Just let him go. Look, Corey's back. And she turns to Corey. Thank the gods.
Hello.
She's gonna go and grab her legs and hug her.
Oh, almost falls over, just like
When
patting Gwen.
when Gwen goes, "Oh look, Corey's back," Caelum turns and he like smiles a little bit. He's like, "Oh wait, Corey's back," and he turns and heads back down.
As you go to turn and head back down, you can see that the Kenku that was up in the crow's nest has actually scaled down and is holding what looks to be a heavy, like a arrow that is currently just jabbed into its shoulder. And it kind of like comes up approaching you and says, "I'm a cleric."
You are? No, I'm sorry.
And says it in your voice back to you and just looks at you with this wound in its shoulder.
Caelum reaches out and tries to heal the Kenku, but like you'll see the holy light sort of glow first, and it fizzles out.
And then it just kind of like looks at you and just shakes its head and then begins running off towards the captain. And you just make your way back into the hull of the ship.
Back to my box fort.
What happened, dude? Where were you?
Well, very long story. We should probably find someplace to sit down, and oh dear, that bird is very injured.
Yes, he is. Somebody fix this bird. Delco, what are you doing? And like,
Come
He's
here.
not a bird. He's a Kenku, you people. Jesus. Even I'm fucking racist, and that's just mean.
He's a bird. He can be a person too. Come on. And she reaches out and will lay on hands for the Kenku.
okay.
How much do you want?
It was only 7 points of damage that it suffered.
All right. He gets all that.
And at that, you actually see that your lay on hands, the flames that are currently wreathed around your hand actually just kind of begin going into the wound. And eventually it just covers over where the wound was, no scar. And the Kenku just kind of looks at you, eyes big, and Oliviette just, what are you doing? Get back to work.
It's not an in-character laugh.
If we should go to my cabin.
You guys were gone for a day. What are you talking about?
We can tell you this when we are sitting down, when I grab some alcohol, and we process this whole thing, yes? So,
Boy, are you like Taylor?
10
I went to
minutes,
the moon.
cabin. And Olivia just begins walking off.
I killed a blob.
Oh,
Isn't here?
you guys killed things without me?
Well, I mean, we kind of had to. You kind of just bailed in the middle of the night, which, by the way, I saw through Cybra's eyes.
Oh my. Is
Yeah,
that a
we can
you
deal with
thing or
that
a cyber thing?
That was the first thing's been solved. Second thing is now a problem. Yeah, I could see through Cybra's eyes.
Right, okay. So, wait, that was you, a Cybra?
I mean, it was Cybra, but I saw, like, I was asleep, and then I woke up, and I knew you guys were gone because I saw you get abducted by the fucking moon.
That's true. I did not go on purpose. That was not my choice. I would have stayed here. I'm not sad that I went though. We should go. I'm gonna like grab her and start dragging her towards the captain's quarters.
I missed you so much.
I missed you too, Gwen. I got my butt kicked.
Get Caelum.
Okay. Yeah, so Caelum, you are just like you have quickly receded back into your box fort. I'm assuming you're wrapping yourself up in your cloak once again.
There's a bottle of whiskey.
All right. And how does Blake come find you?
Halfway in the bottle.
Yeah, so he is putting this bottle up to his lips currently and looks like he is about to take a
Face
drag.
like super scrunched up.
I'm just going to reach down and pick him up. Bottle and all.
Okay.
If that's a thing that I can do with a strength of 13.
Caelum, how much do you weigh?
With my
Oh
armor?
my
or
gosh,
without my
Andor,
armor?
what the fuck? You can't just ask somebody how much they weigh.
It's armor. It's with the armor, you know. We
It's
gotta
with the
incorporate-
armor. I would weigh a solid 100. No,
$150 wet.
$150 wet. Well, the armor makes up about a quarter of his weight, so it's like 125 at most.
Yeah, you would definitely.
And
be
then
able
plus
to-
armor, which is 45, so like 175.
I would say you'd be able to at least like you wouldn't be able to like lift him up one-handed, but if you're just like hooking him underneath the arms and just picking him up and moving him, yeah, you'd be able to do that, no problem.
Come on, Cori wants to talk about the moon.
She's gonna. Okay.
I'll just carry him back up to the captain's quarters.
All right.
Why do you guys drink this stuff?
Years of practice.
Yeah, so Caelum, you are currently just like going at this bottle by yourself as Blake is carrying you, unless you have chosen to stand and walk by yourself after a certain point.
When they reach the top of the deck.
Yeah, and by that time you sit, like you stand. Roll a Constitution check, because it always hits you when you first stand up.
Oh yeah.
That's a
with
rule.
a Constitution of +2. That's a 12.
Okay, you're feeling pretty good at this point. Like you've been practicing a little bit with drinking with your friends over the last couple days, and you know you're feeling it. You're feeling it pretty good, but like you're not like you're tipsy. You're not drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys begin making your way towards the captain's quarters. And then upon arriving, you can see that Oliviette is already inside with Cori and Gwen. And she seems to be pulling up chairs, which she has a lot more free chairs now that Caelum had actually helped her clean up her room. So there is enough space for all of you to sit down. And she just kind of clears some space on the desk and just sets down a bottle of rum. Like takes her rapier and just kind of like sets it off to the side a little bit, not really knowing what to do with it, and then begins opening up the bottle and pouring liquid into cups for you guys.
Throughout all of this, Coriander is giving Gwen a play-by-play of the fight she was in.
Dude, that sounds fucking sweet. Why'd you go down? Like, you just...
It was just a really big guy. Usually my armor is good enough to rebuff any sort of, attacks, but these were different. These were stronger.
You said it was like made out of worms and shit?
Yes, the exact same worms from Sten Fizeno's, the award-winning arborist.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
From Sten Fizeno's garden.
And it's around that time that Caelum and Blake, you guys walk in, is while she is talking about the same worms from Sten Fizeno's garden.
She's gonna pull Cori down so that she's at ear level. Caelum's really upset. Blake's kind of upset. Let's not talk about it now, okay?
Talk about what? Them being upset? Okay.
Yes.
We won't talk about that. Okay.
They both sit up. So, moonworms. Death worms?
I feel like more has to be said about that for this to be a proper debriefing.
Right. The world is ending.
Wait, what?
What?
Cheers! Right. And Olivia just begins taking a drink.
Can we get a little bit more than that?
I start from the beginning. Did you know that Corlon has a daughter?
I know that Corlon had a daughter.
Make a religion check.
Do I know that Corlon had a daughter?
Make a religion check.
I'm not gonna lie, every time you've said Corlon's name, I just glaze over and I start thinking about some battles that I used to have.
You've never heard of this, Blake.
Wait, gods reproduce?
21,
Well,
sorry.
Oh yeah, it's kinky shit, dude.
Caelum, you have heard about this, but you didn't really spend a whole lot of time studying the Drow pantheon.
I just basically know Corlon, Loth, and then there's this daughter.
Yeah. Who's a good person. She's a good lady. She's not evil.
I feel like you would have some understanding of, yet another moon goddess.
I guess that's makes sense. Every religion has their own conceptualized deity of something, so multiple deities of a moon isn't not plausible, is plausible. Someone take this away from me.
So it's Corlon's
Gwen
daughter
just pushes
ending
it
the
towards
world?
him.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
It's Corlon's daughter ending the world? Is that what's
No.
happening?
The opposite, actually. She's actually very cool and gorgeous. Corlon's daughter...
Olivia nods. Just...
Elestrie. Corlon's daughter, Elestrie, is the goddess of the moon, of the
Okay.
Drow pantheon. She's the first bastion against the Dark Star, which is this, and she, just sort of, totters over to the, just, up on her toes, just, over to the window, and points out the window. It's it's a dark spot. She's trying to, find it, and probably can't see it from here because she's on the other side of the moon.
Yep.
It's a dark spot on the other side of the moon, and it's coming for us. And I think it's made of worms. I don't know for sure, but it's not good, and it's going to kill us all, and we need to stop it.
Indoor.
Yes.
Blake growing up with whom he did, would he know anything about the Dark Star? And I don't know what this would be, but I'm kind of got a tinfoil hat, like this is an aberration, a great old one of some sort. And there may have been one or two witch knights that made pact with old ones.
Make a history check.
Okay. 15.
All right. You've never heard of this dark star.
Okay.
There's a sound of a lid popping, and then the whiskey's going straight back to Caelum's mouth.
Okay, so there's a dark star,
They called it, yes.
and it's coming to eat the earth.
I don't know what it's coming to do.
It's made of worms.
I don't know that for sure. But I did fight creatures that were from it, and they were made of worms. The same worms from Stenfazeno's garden.
Gross.
I thought only shooting stars could move.
Well, shooting stars are like astral bodies in motion, like comets and meteors and that sort of thing. They're like debris from other
Oh, that's what they are.
areas.
I
So-
thought. Oh, Caelum!
Hi.
Cori rushes over to him. The world is round!
Yes. Yes, it is.
I
It's
saw it!
what?
I was on the moon! I saw it, and the world is like. It's like a marble.
Wait,
Why are we falling off?
you. Who else? Blake?
Does Blake know? Is Blake a flat earther?
I don't know. Is Blake a flat earther?
Am I a round earther? Am I the conspiracy theorist?
I honestly always thought that.
7.
Yeah. Earth always seemed flat. You never saw a curvature in the horizon. Why would it be spherical?
But it.
I know. I also thought, look, a lot of the time they show a map of the surrounding area.
Right.
Map is always flat. If the world was round, why would not they use a round map of sorts?
A globe?
Is that what they are called? You have to invest in one of these globes.
Caleb's just like, the fuck is happening? All right,
Am
so
I drunk? What?
But
all right,
I've
so
never
there's a
had
lot
it.
that we're unpacking here.
your friend Cori speaks the truth. And Oliviette finally puts her glass down as you'd seen that she filled it almost to the brim the first time and has just been sipping on it while you guys were talking. And she says, they had a name for it. It was not just the Dark Star. It was Neve Darin, which I think means Dark Star, but I'm not sure. I only speak
language?
under Elven.
What language is that?
It is in Elvish.
An elf.
Is that Dark Star?
Yeah,
Is it
it just translates to Dark Star.
Oh, yes, that's what it means.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Very
makes
old
things easy.
dialect.
Basically, we got taken. Not really sure why or for what reason. We wound up on the surface of, well, as Cori already said, we wound up on the moon. Went to a temple of Elestrei, my chosen deity. And while we were there, we were shown what it is. What it was. It's... For all of the alcohol in the world, it would be incredibly sobering to see again. It's just as large as the moon, but just directly behind it. Apparently, the Moon Elves have fought against the forces of this Dark Star for over a millennia, and Well, their visions have stopped going, apparently. They can't see past a certain point. So they asked us if we could if we knew what this vision meant. I am a ship merchant. I am a ship captain, not my back. But then we met my ship's namesake. We met the Midnight Dancer herself. And she gave me this. And she grabs her rapier and sets it onto the table. And she gave Cori her sword as well.
Yep. Cori will like do the same.
And Cori, is this
You're silver.
what season are you in?
Same season as always.
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't
Oh,
think
you're talking
so.
about this. And she kind of like runs her fingers through like flame hair. That's just the blessing of Elestray.
Is it permanent?
I don't know.
Wait,
Cori's gonna try and dismiss it.
I thought you were a Coralon debutee.
What? What?
She's focusing on dismissing her moon form.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I get this straight. So, the moon, which is not the sun at night, is round, and there are things that live on it. And also, the Earth is round. Okay. And there are elves that live on the moon who are protecting us from a giant ball of worms that's in the sky, and they want us to do something about it.
That's what they said.
How the fuck are we supposed to do anything about it?
And that is why I am drinking. And Olivia just goes back into a second cup.
Wait,
There are
Gwen.
gods for this
you-
shit.
You said there was a vision.
Yes, they said that Oliviette and myself would be very important in the future, as well as 4 houses, which I am just realizing is very important. She said, staring off into the distance. I think we, and she like starts pointing at everybody, we are the 4 houses,
There are
and
5
we're
of
going
us.
to save the world.
There are
There are currently 5 of us.
Guys, our name is the 4 Keeps. Come on.
Oh.
Jesus. Coraline, God help us. Guys, I thought the Earth was flat and that the sun went to sleep. And I understood that.
Listen, this is all very overwhelming. And I know that we're all going through some things. And Cori kind of like glances at Blake and Caelum and then looks down again.
And as you do that, the pure silver that had been decorating your armor and coloring your hair, you actually see just begins to kind of get, it begins to warm up to a nice orangish color, very much in the same way that Cori's armor always was. Her hair is still a fiery mane coming down the sides, but it is back to the orangish tints that you know Cori's autumn form to be, but it has a little bit more of a steel underlayer to it. Silvered steel underlayer.
But I believe that we are meant for great things. And I think that if we work together, then we can all come forward and do this. We can do this together. She just looks around at everybody.
And Oliviette just raises her glass to you.
We are the 4 Keeps.
Yeah, yes, that.
And now we are the 4 Keeps of Legend. So let's go make a legend. She just starts walking out the door.
Yeah,
Thought we had a
yeah.
legend.
Like, Gwen is trying to back her play, but she still doesn't know what's going on. She really is like grasping at the very edges of what's happening. So she's just like, yeah, we're gonna be legends.
What about the worms?
What about the worms?
You
Zilla
said they look like the
creatures.
ones from Fizeno's place.
Yes. Exactly like them.
There were creatures. And at this point, Oliviette is just like both hands on the table, just kind of like holding her cup.
And
Say-
if they're the same, what do we do about that?
Oliviette just shrugs. When we were on the moon, we were fighting those creatures. Well, one of the elves that we met, she was using the moonfire to burn away the worms. She said that they have some sort of almost healing factor. So if that tells us anything, maybe we just need to burn them wherever they are.
That when we get back to the mainland, we're definitely gonna have to head north to that forest.
Yeah. There was also, we had one.
Had?
And Olivia just kind of like looks at you, just what do you mean had?
And Blake's just gonna look at the camera. Fucking Parnell.
Wait, what happened with it?
Parnell's cat.
Broke the
Fucking,
bottle it was in.
and it escaped. It was on our way to Silk Creek. It was between village whose name I forget and Silk Creek, right?
Dawngrass. Yeah, it was between Dawngrass and Shroudport. It was on your first night out of Shroudport when bandits showed up. You're like, nah, Parnell, you owe us some money.
Right. So is that bad? I think that might be bad. But it's just one, right?
Well,
Well-
most certainly bad.
We don't know these things. We don't know their excuse me, ecology, how they reproduce. So one worm might not be a problem, but if it reproduces asexually, it might turn into like a billion worms. No
I'm
problem.
sorry. Wait, what?
Some creatures can reproduce without banging.
What a sad, lonely life. Gwen kind of looks off into the distance.
Olivia does as well. Just
So, fire. We kill this thing with fire, right? Like, we just shoot a big old fireball up into the air and we'll get it, right?
it's one too far away. And what makes me nervous is she said that we might turn into them,
Into what?
to the worms.
The worms? We?
Not us, the five of us, but us, anyone who falls from the worm.
Oh. If you die because of the worms, you come back as a worm. Oh. Yeah.
I mean, that's my understanding.
I think so, yes.
How long do we have?
Don't know.
Like tomorrow or like months from now?
They said they would give us a way to speak to them, right?
I believe so. That symbol is still on my ship, so maybe figure out a way to make a return trip at some point.
Estray also said that she was listening to me every time I was on the roof at night. So I might just need to talk to the moon?
Does she listen to all of us?
Or Caelum, can you talk to the moon?
Oh.
Different goddess. Remember, I went in last time and she said she had no idea where Cori was.
Wait, went in? What do you mean? Did you go into the moon?
It's a very long story. Very, very long.
Maybe tomorrow then. For tonight, should probably all get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
We still have, how long did you say we were gone?
A day. Like,
Is everything still good on the ship?
yep, everything's great. Nothing happened.
That's not true.
What happened?
What's his name?
Dorga! Or Dorash.
Dorash. Dorash is the one who died.
Dorash didn't make it. We salvaged some supplies, but a creature got the jump on us.
She just pinches the bridge of her nose. Luckily, he did not have a very important job on the ship. He was just sort of an everyman. I will have to find a replacement when we get to shore. Unless any of you know how to work a boat, can help out in his place in the meantime.
I mean, I can lift heavy shit.
I can give it a shot.
Any
I
single
don't
help.
know anything, but I would love to learn.
Well, we still have a few days before the Isle. Maybe tomorrow I can at least start showing some of you basic jobs around here. I think Nattaya is going to be in a little ill repair from the crossbow bolt he took, or from the arrow he took to the shoulder, but you seem to have healed that up nicely. But I'm sure a little bit of extra help would go a long way. And at that, she just says, I'm going to finish the rest of this bottle and go to sleep. If you need anything, feel free to knock, but I am going to be retiring for the evening. I'm sorry to hear about Dorash, and I'm glad to know that you three aren't dead as well, and that you saved Torga. Thank you. And she just kind of bows and then stands up and goes over to the door to kind of let you guys head out.
TFO, man. I'm pushing Caelum in front of me. Yep.
Cori's gonna stay behind for like a second with Oliviette.
Yeah, and as you do, Oliviette looks at you and says, "You don't have to leave if you don't want to."
I'm just. It's fine. I'll spend the night on the deck. I just, I feel more comfortable under open sky, but did they seem a little reluctant to you?
Oh, reluctant about which part? The alcohol? Or the part about there's a giant dark star behind the moon that is going to come and crush us all. And that they are going to be the ones that are going to save it.
Well, the second thing mostly.
In my experience in the Underdark, most people who are forced into a situation that they did not decide for themselves are most often reluctant in order to do it. So if you and your friends and, well, myself included, are going to be part of this grand scheme, we've seen it. My reluctancy melted away the moment that I saw it. I don't know what I can do, but I can help. Your friends? Your friends might need some convincing, yes, but if that thing comes here, we're all dead.
You're right. Thank you.
It's no problem.
She'll put a hand on hers briefly and then leave.
And Oliviette, in the moment that your hands kind of touch, even for just that very brief moment, you can actually see that there is a bit of silver fire that just kind of wraps around both of your hands, and then you head out. And as you go to close the door behind you, you see that Oliviette is just kind of like holding her rapier in two hands, just sort of examining it for up close for the first time. And then you make your way back out onto the deck. And then Gwen, Cori, and Blake, did you guys all just like hang out on the deck and wait for Cori to get back, or are you all going back underneath to your bunks?
I am shuffling Caelum to bed.
No, but Blake has some magic items he wants me to identify.
She just kind of like puts you over both shoulders and it's just like...
Soldier carry.
Yeah.
All right. And then Blake, are you following the two of them, or are you... Okay. Yeah, so then the three of you end up making your way to your sleeping quarters, and you can see that Cybra is there ready to just kind of like lay underneath Caelum's swinging hammock. And you guys end up going through a full night's rest. You get all your spell slots back, all your HP back, all the good stuff.
Yay.
Easiest thing to do on D&D Beyond is just hit the button that says long rest, and you got it. And then you end up, Cori, you end up coming out of your meditation. At this point, it is around 4 a.m. What were you meditating on, if you could try and focus?
Probably the future, mostly. I mean, like, are we? When we talk about meditations, are you speaking of like, is she trying to guide her meditations towards particular memories?
Yeah. Or are you just sort of letting the natural elements of the meditation kind of just...
Honestly, I think she'd be going back over her time on the moon, and trying to like unpack exactly what is expected of her and the things that she's supposed to do.
Okay.
I think she's got a quest, man. She is like 100%. She is on board. Like
Moon Quest.
She has a goal. Like she is like of one mind, which is surprising for Cori.
Okay. And then so you're focusing on that, and you end up waking up at around 4 a.m. And at that point, you see that Oliviette is on the deck, and she has switched out with Dalcor to now go back to running her own ship as well. She only needs 4 hours of meditative rest as well. And you can see that she is just kind of like trying to get the silver flames to kind of come up over her hand, and she seems to eventually kind of like get a hang of it a little bit. And then you see her kind of just like close her eyes as then her body is just encased in this flame, and then she kind of like, when she opens up her eyes again, you can see that her hair is starting to just kind of like raise up a little bit. And then she points with a hand, and you see that the fire kind of leaves from her body, and then forms a humanoid figure made of that same kind of pale fire that seems to be roughly her size, that is just standing next to her. And she just kind of nods and motions with her hand back, and the flames just come back onto her body, and then she shakes her hand out a little bit, and they just seem to dissipate. She just seems to kind of be trying to understand these new abilities that she has. And then the rest of you three, unless Cori, you're trying to figure out yours as well. The three of you all kind of wake up first thing in the morning, and you can see that there is the sky is still very clear. It's very cold out still, as you guys are still just sailing in the middle of winter across the sea, but you've all got heavy enough clothes on that the cold air isn't really a problem.
How's Caelum doing?
Make a Constitution check.
Oh, also I rolled a 17 on my intelligence if we were doing the Brother Groom thing.
Okay.
8.
You are hung over as shit. And a 2 on the blood die.
Why do you people drink?
Don't worry, Cori can take care of this. Come on, let's get you up on the deck. Oh, if you gotta hurl, we gotta do it on the deck. Let's go. And she's like scooching him up the stairs.
Staggering up the stairs.
She's trying to like corral cats that are like twice her size. I would like to hope that he makes it to the railing before he pukes.
He does.
Okay.
He ends up making it to the railing, and you just kind of lean overboard and let it all out.
It's all liquid.
It's all right, buddy. What did we learn?
A lot of things last night.
Mm-hmm. What did you specifically learn from this event that's happening right now?
Alcohol is the devil.
Don't drink your feelings, dude.
And Blake,
Is
if you
Cori
so
up on the deck?
choose, that is around the time that you can come up from under the deck as well.
Me?
Yeah, if you would like. Otherwise, you can totally just stay under.
I just want to like ask the captain like what I can do to help and try to learn how to be a good crewman.
Okay. All right, and then so you're going to talk to the captain, and then Gwen and Caelum are hurriedly as you can with a very hungover Shadar Kai making their way over to Cori.
Cori is on deck. She's doing sword forms.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cori.
Hmm?
Caelum's hungover
Why?
because he drank a lot and he didn't eat dinner.
Why?
Why don't you heal him first and then do the thing? And she points at him.
Cori's gonna look at Caelum, just kind of up and down, and like trying to find out whether or not this is a situation where she needs to like let him suffer in order to learn a lesson.
He's just looking down at his feet like a kid.
She'll just bop him on the head. Be healed.
Yeah, and you see that it is just that silverish flame just leaves Cori's hand and then enters into you, and you feel better.
Do I really?
You feel
Physically.
less sick.
I didn't say it before, but welcome back. We missed you. Yeah.
Not take. Are you feeling all right? And she's gonna kind of like flick the flames a little bit around her fingers. Like, I haven't quite got the hang of this yet.
Yeah, I'm not hungover anymore. Just a little, tired. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Gwen is at his feet, just like a big eye roll.
Do you want to talk about this?
It's a lot of things to unpack. A lot of things to unpack.
Listen, you don't have to come on the big, huge, world-saving adventure if you don't want to. I know that it was a kind of a big thing to ask, and we're all starting out as new adventurers, and
I look down at Gwen, and then I look to Cori, and Caelum just goes, so when that crew member died yesterday, I tried to bring him back, and he came back as a zombie, and we had to re-kill him, and now he's buried on that island, and I am so sorry.
oh. Wait, hold on. What? What did you
All right, so we're gonna switch over to Blake and the captain. You said you are blood hunter. Is that what you?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of skills do you think you can bring to this ship? Are you good at navigating? Are you good at quick tying knots? Are you good at carpentry? Any kind of repair that may be happening?
I feel like I would know how to like navigate on land.
That's roughly the same thing.
That's okay. And I guess Blake would be okay at tying knots.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he ordained?
Well, if he's not a ship captain, but he could be. She says, well, how about this? You just stay up here with me. I can teach you how to navigate the sea. At least show you some instructions. You've never been on the ocean, have you?
I mean, there was that one time in like the very first arc.
Say what? She just like looks at you very confused. That is no matter. Here, I will teach you how easy navigating the ocean can be. And she just takes a step back from the wheel. Grab it. There. Congrats, you are piloting. And it just like, you can feel it like starting to move in different directions, and you kind of just have to like keep it forced into place. She just says, it is as easy as this. Honestly, a lot of it gets more difficult when you don't know where you're going, or if you think you have a good idea of where you're going. But this strait is, it gets the job done. We know that as long as we maintain between this and here, she points in on the wheel itself. There seems to be different latitude and longitude markings. As long as we keep it between these two numbers, we'll go straight to Arask.
All right.
Do you have good eyesight? Can you see relatively far?
Blake's perception is 2.
It's good enough. It's during the day. Nothing should happen to us. But last time I said that, I went on a quick trip to the moon. So, fingers crossed, eh?
He just nods.
And then she will just kind of stay up there and teach you more about navigating across the sea. And we'll answer any questions that you have as well, if you have them. She just seems to sort of just be like, just very much focused on this task to kind of distract her from a lot of the things that she went through the day prior. So then we'll move back to the other three that are dealing with Caelum Zombo.
So let me get this straight. You brought him back, but he wasn't himself. He was a zombie. But you didn't mean to bring him back as a zombie.
No, I thought I could help, but I didn't.
Right. So the concern is that you brought him back as a zombie and you feel bad about that?
Well, yeah, I thought he was gonna come back whole, not bitey.
Caelum, it is so unfair for someone to expect you to do something like that. He was dead.
I don't know, I just had to try, and
that's what makes you great. You try. The problem is that it just didn't work out the way that you wanted. You didn't mean for him to come back as a zombie. You're fine.
it just felt wrong. And I don't know.
Well, that's understandable. Listen, I don't want you to feel like it was your fault. I mean, we've learned from this experience. Gwen's just like having very emphatic nods in the background.
Whatever Cori's saying, it's either nod or a shake of the head.
Just agree or no, you're right. Like...
You are totally right. Motioning. She's like the punctuation.
She's the gestures.
Yeah.
It was a good thing that you wanted to do. And I understand why you're upset that it didn't work out that you hoped it would. But you shouldn't feel... She kind of sighs for a second and says, feel however you need to feel, but know that you didn't do anything wrong.
I'm gonna need to internalize this for a while.
That's okay. You can take all the time you need, and if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it. And if you want to be distracted, then I can do something about that.
I already have a rain check with Gwen.
Okay.
Gwen just looks up at Cori and nods with this with this shy smile. A coy smile, I should say.
Now, are you okay? Did anything happen to you?
Me? No, I think I'm okay. I mean, actually, I don't remember a lot of shit's happened.
Do I need to check on Blake? Is he all right?
Yeah, Blake needs a talking to, too.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Gwen's gonna turn and hug Cori's legs. I'm so glad you're back.
She was like about to walk away towards Blake and she like trips again. It's good to see you too, Gwen. Pat.
All right, Caelum, you want to watch me lift some heavy things? That'll take your mind off things.
I was actually thinking about a lot of things that I wanted to try, and best person to help me out, he's like pulling out his shield and like the club.
Oh, yeah, yep, I can do that for sure. She kind of had a look on her face and yep, oh, yeah. You want, yeah, let's spar. I'll use my smaller weapons. And she puts the axe
down and gets out her smaller swath.
Yeah. He's thinks for a second, mutters, "How did it go?" and shifts his stance, and it's a very much like wider stance than normal. Normally it's shield front spear, but it's like shield sort of outwards, club in the back.
Okay.
Kind of reminiscent of Farron's stance.
Because he was more angled outward.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
And so, yeah, Gwen and Caelum, you guys are going to spend the day sparring. And then, Cori, you make your way up onto the aft castle where you see that Blake is actually steering the ship right now. And Oliviette just like, "You're doing fine. Just, again, straight. It's... If there was a way that we could automate this, like put a lock on it or something, we could probably do that. But I feel like the technology is a few years away."
Like a rope.
Almost like an autopilot.
Who said that?
Press this dang autopilot driving my cars.
Hey, Cori.
You look like a regular seafarer.
Yeah, I remember I was a captain for like a day.
Do you, Coriander looks at Oliviette, do you feel comfortable leaving him with this, or can I steal him away?
Steal away at my pleasure, just not my ship. Otherwise, we will have a serious problem.
I don't steal.
I know
and
you
she
don't.
just grabs Blake and starts dragging him away.
Okay.
Blake
Yeah.
accepts this.
She'll return to the helm.
So, did something happen while I was gone? I mean, I know someone died. It was a whole thing. Everyone was really worried about me being on the moon. Even though none of you should worry about me. I'm always fine.
Cori, whenever someone disappears for a day from a magic circle that just appeared out of nowhere, we're gonna fucking worry. That's not a common occurrence.
That's fair. And I would have left a note if I knew I was about to leave. So I'm very sorry about that.
I'm very glad that your new goddess decided to bring you back.
Well, there's important work for me here. Regardless, this isn't about me. I came to talk about you. Are you all right? Is there anything going on? Is there anything you want to talk about?
You know, 1,500-year-old spirit of me who is also in me. Caelum's dealing with necromancy and his ghost friend. Gwen is actually very well adjusted to everything that's going on, and I'm very proud of her.
Caelum has a ghost friend?
Caelum has a ghost friend.
Didn't know about that.
Its name is, and I will peek at the Discord, Amaris. His name's Amaris. It's a little spirit that lives in a shield, I think.
Coriander stops, just like, boom, just like, instantly, like, the mood changes. In his shield.
Yeah.
In his shield?
Yeah, and now, Cori, look.
No. There's a spirit talking to him inside his shield.
Yeah.
Oh.
You went through like 5 different octaves there. Should I be worried?
Has he been acting different? Is he okay?
He hasn't been acting different. I mean, besides, raising a fucking zombie. Now look, Cori, I do not like undead.
guess I don't like undead either. Nobody does. It's not good. She's gonna like pace over to the side of the ship and just kind of like and start looking out at the ocean. How long's this been going on?
I don't know. It's the first time I saw it.
Are you sure he hasn't done anything different aside from the necromancy? Is that the only thing?
I think so. Whenever I asked the spirit what its intention was, and it seemed to just want to read. I don't know if I can trust it. I definitely don't want to.
There's no way to know for sure. Unless I get a chance to talk to it.
I mean, I'm sure you can go pick it up. Oh, no, it looks like he's using it right now.
And you look over.
Perry! Perry, goddammit!
Oh no, what's it? A lot of the motions that Caelum is doing is a lot of darting in. Even if he whiffs, he runs past you, turns and pivots.
Why are you running past me? I don't understand what you're doing.
Jumps in the air, tries to smack you, rolls, keeps on moving. He's like basically like a little wasp.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen anything like this before, have you?
This is what happened to Cypress.
To your friend?
Yes. It was a spirit inside of an artifact. And it took him. It took him over.
So what do we do about it?
If this is like what's happening to Cypress, we need to get it away from him.
Full Keeps team meeting right now. Get over it.
And as he said that, Caelum's running past Gwen. She was just so fed up with it that she just like sweeps his legs.
She sticks her leg out, basically.
Caelum, make a dexterity save.
Can I just fail for comedic effect?
Yes. You can always fail for comedic effect on this stream.
All right. We're gonna need to work on that because that was fucking annoying. What? What are we doing?
Get over here.
All right, I'm gonna grab Caelum's foot and start dragging him.
Splinter! Splinter!
Sorry. Jump up to her
Just
there.
walking.
What's up?
Caelum,
Yes?
I'm concerned.
Oh, that's...
Meanwhile, I'm going to be divine sensing that shield.
About what, per se?
I'm concerned about your friend.
You get a sense of undead from the shield.
I'm your friend too.
Not. Yes, you are. I'm talking about. Caelum, would you like to explain? Or Cori, would you like to explain? Both of you have pertinent information here.
I want to know what you know.
That's a good choice, Caelum. That's a good choice. Good job.
I just... Can I see your shield?
Sure. Hands it over to her.
Yeah, it's just the emblem of Saloon staring back at you. 2 eyes above 7 stars.
Okay. Coriander is going to reach out to it the same way that she would if she were going to try and activate a Caelum ring.
Okay. So you do, and you do not get a response.
Mumbling to herself.
What is this about, guys? Anyone, please.
I mean, I could start talking, but I feel like this should be
mean-
something between the two of you.
So, what? My shield?
She's
Something...
very seriously just like staring at the shield. And then she like looks up and she kind of has like a really like intense look on her face, and like she forces herself to soften it.
Taken aback.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Whoa.
taking it back?
No, taken aback.
Taken aback. Okay. Does this talk to you?
Yeah, every full moon.
Every full moon? Just on the full moon?
Just on the full moon, ever since I was really young.
Okay. Is this something that Saloon does for you, or...
Honestly, I don't know. Caelum like sits down. I guess where I'm from, that temple, I was sort of locked away for a very long time. And every night I would pray for a friend. And one night I got a friend. And that was that shield.
Has she ever told you to do something strange?
Like, what? She just asked me to read. All the time. Every full moon.
She's gonna look down at the shield again. What sort of books?
We read the Odyssey last moon. Last night we read How to Train Your Chimera.
Oh man, if only they knew like how to train a dragon.
No, that'd be unreasonable. Dragons on an island? Really? Oh wait, we're going to one. A lot of dragons on an island? Really?
But what sorts of books are these? I don't recognize them.
They're children novels. They're fantasy, works of fiction.
Children's books. She's gonna look down at the shield again. And then she's gonna like pull it up to her face and be like, "Talk to me."
I mean, the hardest thing we read was like this philosophy book a while back, but that put us both to sleep.
No response from the shield.
None.
Okay, so what is going on?
There's a spirit in my shield that asks me to read books to it every month.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's like the least weird thing I've heard in the last 48 hours. So, all right, is it? Does it hurt you?
No.
All right, then what's the problem? I don't understand.
Cori's going to slowly give it back to Caelum.
I mean, it only happens on the full moon, so I guess they can't get enough energy to manifest until then, or something. I don't know. It just...
She'll hand it back to him, like letting go of the shield is like physically hurting her.
What do I know about undead that gain enough power to manifest only on the full moon?
Roll a history check.
It does concern undead.
Yes.
Very specifically,
Possibly.
undead that happen on the full moon.
Okay, that's cool. 19.
So you know that with particular undead, that there is a variety of conditions that some of them manifest around, such as certain undead will only come back when they feel particularly wronged by another individual. Others will hold on to an idea or an ideal and will only ever come back based on that. Certain beings are tied to times of day, as there are some wraiths that you know that are night creatures only. You never have to worry about seeing one of those during the day. So from your understanding, it might be one of those conditional things about how it can manifest. It might still be there. And when Cori got her undead sense from it, she could tell that there still was a slight aura about it. And you kind of get the feeling of it as well, looking into the shield. But you think that it could just be related to how it manifests. Like whatever, if it was cursed when it died, or if there was a set of rules put into place to keep it from continuously manifesting, that could be it as well.
Okay. Well, Cori thinks that maybe this could end up affecting you in ways that we should be concerned about.
I mean, I've had this shield for a very long time. If something were to affect me, you think it would have happened already?
Cori looks from Caelum to Blake. Just like, I don't, looking for some sort of explanation.
So is the item possessed? Or is it like a magical shield?
Doesn't do anything except pop out a little ghost child every month.
But why? Why is there a spirit in this?
I don't know. Like I said, I prayed every night for someone to keep me company, and pop.
She comes out on the full moon?
Only on the full moon.
Can I talk to her next time?
They were a little freaked out by Blake, so we'll see.
They had reason to be.
Ooh. Ooh.
Blake, after you say that, you feel a string of thought deep in, like, coming from what seems almost out of nowhere. It is not a grumbly, growly voice like you are used to that seems to be interjecting more and more frequently, but instead it is a familiar female voice, one that you have not heard in several weeks. And it says, I have it written down. It says, 25 words. Where are you heading? I have things to send, but no address. I heard a song that reminded me of you. Be careful. And that is where we are going to end for tonight's session. So, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who decided to come on by to tonight's amazing and enjoyable, as always, Monday night game. The Tale of the Four Keeps. I really enjoy being able to have all of these wonderful people on. And speaking of these wonderful people, we're going to go around and have them give their last sign off. So, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the show, or you can find me at Twitter and Twitch at RJustice282, where I tweet about the nerdy things and sometimes stream Overwatch with one. Wait, no, one, and then two. Yeah, these
Yes.
two people, wherever they are, Indoor and LB. You could also find me at Pro Restarters channel on Saturdays, where we play Monster of the Week as your silent but deadly initiate, Ajax.
Yes. All right, and LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me on Monday nights, very confused. Sometimes Gwen's brain isn't the best brain. You can find me tomorrow night playing Ghost at 8:30 here. Friday, you can see me at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Pro Restarters channel, playing a super sassy game called Birthright, where I am playing this character that just doesn't take shit, and I love it. And then Sunday on Encounter Roleplay's channel, I will be playing in our Fate game, which has quickly turned from, shoot, we all need to hide our superpowers, to, I guess we're all just, everyone knows, it's cool.
What's a secret identity anyways? Right? Lame. All
yeah,
right.
And people are just throwing out fate points like it's picking candy. And like one person was like, oh, okay, well you do this, and then the bus crashes, and now we're dealing with that. So
Jeepers.
Lots of stuff.
All right. And Cyberwolf, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me there at Cyberwolf1201 on the Twitters, where I tweet what I'm doing, which usually involves whenever I start streaming on twitch.tv/Cyberwolf1201, where I play video games badly and talk about lore. And I usually do that on Saturday nights and also sometimes Tuesdays. None of that is role-playing related. But if you want to see me in more role-playing games, you can always find me here on Monday nights. And starting this Thursday, you'll be able to see me on twitch.tv/ProRestarter, where I will be playing with some other fine people in a 5th edition game where I will be playing a child. I haven't fleshed out the character yet. I need to do that tonight. And for another cool role-playing channel, you can check out Open for Adventure. I am not currently playing in that game, but they're wonderful, wonderful people, and I'm helping out with them behind the scenes. Check them out. They're cool.
Yeah.
One other place that you can find me on the internet is on YouTube. You can find a link to that YouTube channel in my Twitch channel, because looking up Cyberwolf1 results may vary. But there you can find other gameplay videos and also a podcast that Kyle with an N and I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about stuff. We've got another episode coming really soon as I edit it.
Yeah. And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
My name is Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do doodles for most of our sessions, and I did do a doodle for this session. So you'll be able to find that there at DanaeKeener.com.
All right. And if you would like to, get your hands on any of the sweet break screens that we've had since we've started this channel, we got one, or our level 1 party pick. We have our winter break scene, and then we also have our Tuesday night break screen as well that you can find at In-Store Adventures. And you can become an in-store adventurer as well. I am the indoor adventurer. If you are watching this on Twitch, you probably should know that by now, because my name's under stuff, and I'm usually here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Mondays and Tuesdays, I run this game, my home game, and then we're going into Chapter 4 of Waterdeep Dragon Heist on our Tuesday games, which has been incredible. Wednesdays, I typically play video games with my buddy, my buddy Reeves, so if you're looking to just hang out during that time, you are more than welcome. If you would like to find VODs of all of our games. I post them at youtube.com/theindooradventurer. And then, of course, if you're an audio person and prefer listening to audio casts where you can hear the dulcet sounds of our voices, then you can check us out at indooradventures.podbean.com, or if you prefer listening on any of the other audio platforms such as Spotify, Overcast, iOS, Google Play Store area apps for audio. There are so many of them, but we're on them. So you should definitely go and check it out. Leave us a review just leave us a review and then let me know what your preferred audio app is. So that way I can make sure that we will be there for you guys. We also have a Patreon, which I have mentioned before. So if you go to patreon.com/theindooradventurer, you can find out what Cori did on the moon exactly, and as well as you can join us for an after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions from not only our patrons, but other members of our Discord community, and just friends at large if they have questions relating to the game, which we are going to be doing now. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who stopped by. Thank you to our new follows that we got. I think we just got the one follow, but I still really appreciate it. House 8897, you're cool. We got 3 more follows until we hit 200, so I'm really hoping that that gets, that'd be cool by the end of the month. But at the same time, here's to February. And with that, we will see you guys next week. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.